already got us here. I hope that you all are having a great day, and I hope that you are doing well. May this message resonate with you. Today we're going to be talking about uniqueness, being authentic within you, and being unapologetic about it. And I'm gonna pull some inspirational cards to guide me along the way with this message, and hopefully it resonates. I do want to start off by saying being unique isn't weird. It is being authentic isn't weird. It's beautiful. It's you. It's true. It's abundant. It's standing in your truth and standing in who you know that who you become aware of. Authenticity is just accumulation of awareness. That's what I believe for me. I've believed that for me. The things that I've become aware of about myself and about the environments and the places that I surround myself around is come from just being aware. How you become unique, how you become true in yourself and authentic is becoming aware of who you are. Looking within, also looking around you, also paying attention to the way that you do things and how you do things, also paying attention to the things that you say within your mind and how that reflects outwardly as well. Paying attention to the foods that you eat, the people that you'll be around, the music that you listen to, the places that you go. That's how you become aware, and that's how you're able to build on the foundation of who you are as a person. And that's how that is how you, I believe, for me, I'm gonna speak for me, and then hopefully that it resonates with you. But that's how I was able to become true to me, and it's still building. I'm still building, so it's not that I'm just all put together. I'm not saying that, but I do make it my duty to be aware of who I am, why I do the things I do, become aware of just the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions I have, and asking myself, why do I feel this way about this certain situation or this certain thing or this certain topic, or just paying attention to the triggers, paying attention to just everything as much as possible. I try not to let nothing slip by, absolutely nothing. So I do believe that being unique is great. It's not weird. Being authentic is great. It's not weird. Not following, I don't believe it's anything wrong with following a trend. Like I said before on all my videos, there's no right or wrong for me. It's whatever you want to experience. But I am here to tell you that being and standing in who you are and knowing who you are and being aware of who you are is more trend, is the trend. It's great. It's a great feeling, and you shouldn't let people dictate who you are as you grow into that and as you become aware of that. And it shouldn't be up for debate for anyone. You becoming aware of yourself, and you want to stand in who you are and your truth and your experience, or however, it should not be up for debate for anyone. You stand in that uniqueness, you stand in that truth, you stand in that authenticity as much as you can, and you stand in it with love, loving yourself and others for who accepts you and who doesn't. Still stand with love and still stand with that truth. But I'm gonna pull a card so it can guide me on this continuation of this message. And I pulled Inner Child, and I've pulled this card before, and in this card is a little girl. I'm not sure the age, but she's in fetus position. I say fetus position. It's like, you know how a baby, that is fetus position. Please forgive me if I'm not saying this right, but like a baby is in a mother's womb, and you know how the baby is balled up and has his head down, and the baby has the head down. That's how this little girl is, and it says inner child. And you know, it says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. So that goes back to the uniqueness, you know, being authentic, being true. When you go within and you search that, and you be compassionate to that inner child, you be compassionate to that inner you. You give, you know, just think about when we were children, you know, that's when we were like literally the most authentic and true to ourselves, because we did every and anything that came to mind. We didn't question anything. We didn't have any fears. We didn't have any illusions holding us back. We didn't have anything or anyone. We did not care. We were running around this thing. We didn't even care what our parents said. We was running around this universe doing whatever we want to do. And that's the same thing that we are needed to do as we grow and as we get older, and as we get older, but as we become greater, is standing in that love. Because even as a child, we had that unconditional love in us, and we had no fear. We had no illusions or anyone telling us who to be or how to be or anything like that. And that's the same thing we have to do for who we are today, is go within, have compassion, go back to that child, that inner child, and have compassion for that child, and remember who that child was. Remember who you were when you were a child. Remember how courageous and how of a warrior you were, and how you were able to get through anything, although you didn't have any obstacles. But I'm saying, like, if you say you was gonna jump from a high slide, guess what you did? You jumped from that high slide with no problem, nobody telling you. Even if your mama told you to get down, guess what you did? You jumped from that slide, and it made you feel good. You know, if you didn't break anything, it made you feel good. And that's the same thing that is right now, is just being authentic and being unique and standing in who you know that you are, and being aware and having compassion for that inner child, having compassion for yourself, having compassion to do for yourself as you grow and as you understand that you're not like everybody else in this world. Have compassion for that inner child that's within you. You're not, when you was a child, you wasn't like everyone, and when you was a child, you wasn't like everyone, and now you're not like everyone. So that's why compassion is so important right now, and attending to that, and knowing that just remembering who you were as a child, that's still you, just in a greater version, in a more experienced version. And do not take away from that. Let's not take away from that beautiful inwardly child that needs that love too, so that it can show as the person you are today, as it can show externally, as it can be externally. It's the most beautiful thing when you can walk and stand in who you are and be at peace with it. And that's how we can do it, by going within, having compassion for that little child, go within, as we got older, that's when the fear and the illusions started. And there may have been experiences where people was telling you things that you didn't even believe, but it was so cooked up in the world, it was so already content in the world that you had to follow it. But right now it's saying, go back to that inner child, have compassion for it, and stand in who you are. Stand in that uniqueness, and you don't have to follow anything. You can be who you need to be in this moment in time, and be happy with that, and be happy with your truth. Be aware of who you are. Be aware of the things that you like and love. Be aware of the things that you don't like and don't love. And you can be, and that'll be okay. That's okay to move forward in that. But have compassion for that inner child, so that you can have passion for yourself, for who you are right now. It's only when when fear and illusions and other people's opinions and who we thought we were, who we started to think we were. And I'm not here to blame the outside world either, because we also had things inwardly that we had to grow through as well. So I'm not here to blame the outside world, but I'm talking about the whole thing, the whole mixture of it, the whole concept of it, the whole perspective of it, is taking yourself out of that and going back to that inner child who you know that you were your truest in, and allowing that truest to be now and stand in it. I'm going to pull another card. Another card says self-love. This is going right with uniqueness. Self-love. It's a guy. He's standing and there's flowers around him, and then there's a little child hand that he's holding, and my guess is that it's the smaller version of him. It's just a smaller version of him, and he's holding the child's hand. And the card says, let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. That's powerful. Let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I'll cut that down a little bit. I long to take care of myself like never before. I long to take care of myself like never before. From my own vulnerable child. So that just goes back to that inner child and that healing and having compassion for that inner child, because that inner child within you, it may be vulnerable because you put up walls, you put up fears, you put up illusions, you put up other people's opinions, you even put up opinions about yourself due to probably comparison, due to probably competition, due to so much that was brought up as we were younger, that was external and internal. And it had us questioning ourselves. It had us wondering, who we are. And it's okay. That process, it is okay, because it always brings you back to you. So, like I said before, I'm not here to blame anyone or blame anything, but it's always going to lead you back to you and who do you think you are? What are you becoming aware of? Does it fit you? Going to that inner child, going to that, because that's the safe place. But do you believe that's a safe place? Has it become a safe place for you over time? It may become a vulnerable place because we put up walls from life, and that is okay, because it always leads us back to going within, having compassion for that inner child, wanting and longing for that inner child, and attending to it. That's all. I believe that's a part of this experience. Yes, there's going to be external things that cause us to maybe shift a little bit from who. It may shift us closer to our inner child or a little bit further, but even if it shifts us further, we always come back to that inner child. And the goal is to have that self-love. The goal is to let that wall come down. Let those walls, let those fears, let those illusions, let that hurt, that pain, whatever that may cause those walls to come up, let's let them down. So we can hold that vulnerable child, just like the guy in this picture is doing. He's holding his hand. The child is vulnerable. You are vulnerable. Hold your hand. Hold your heart. Hold you. Hug you. Imagine yourself as your younger you and hold you. Hold you tight. But that's what he's doing in this picture. He's holding the younger version of himself hand. How powerful is that? And he's going within and taking care of himself like never before. Who hugged you? Who maybe you didn't have someone that hugged you when you were small. Maybe you didn't have anyone that tell you that they loved you when you were small. Maybe you didn't have people that really cared about you. Well, I'm not going to say that they didn't care. Maybe you had people that was on different levels in their lives. Therefore, they probably could not love you the way that you needed to be loved. Now, as we grow and as we know that there's different perspectives and different perceptions in life, so love can be shown in different type of ways. And as we have compassion for ourselves, we have compassion for others, and know that whatever level, even this is for our parents, this is for friends, this is for everyone. Everyone is on different levels and really trying to find love within themselves as well. So if you did not get that certain love, all I ask that you have compassion, and it's not just for the other person, it's for you as well. Have compassion and know, especially as you're older now, wow, I see the many levels that I have been on where I haven't shown myself that I love myself or show others that I love them. And just having that compassion and coming back to that and saying to yourself, okay, I didn't have the love that I wanted. How about that? But I'm here now, and I'm tearing down that wall, and I'm loving on myself. And I'm giving myself that strength. I'm giving myself that unconditional love. I'm giving myself that longing that I need, that very much longing that I've needed. I'm going to give it to myself. I'm going to have some self-love. I'm going to hold my hand. I'm going to go back and hold my hand. Go back to your inners. You want to know something that I did? Well, that I do. But I had like a really good, huge time, a great time in doing it. But I still do it. And I hold my hand on my heart and my stomach. Below my, like in the abdominal area and on my heart. I hold my left hand on my heart. And I just tell myself that I'm sorry. At first I was saying I'm sorry, but then I started saying I apologize, because I'm not sorry, and I'm not saying it in like in a mean way, but I'm not a sorry person. So that's how I look at it. Sometimes my mind so forgive me on that, but I say I apologize I say, please forgive me. I apologize. I love you. Thank you. I apologize. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I've gotten into details. I apologize for not loving you when we were small. Like, I get into detail. I actually get into way more detail than that, but you can add whatever you need to. Now, you may be bawling after this. I'm going to just be real. You may, because it was times I just could not just sit there. I couldn't just sit there and just not cry. Like, I don't believe you're going to sit there and just not cry. Like, every time I do it, I cry and I bawl my eyes out. But it is so much needed. Allow yourself 10 to 15 minutes of doing this. But let me tell you, even within the 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to be there probably another 15 trying to get yourself together because you're crying. But it is so much needed. It goes back to the video I was the message that I was talking about, grieving. If you go below and listen to the message on grieving and unthawing the heart, and it's talking about grieving and unthawing the heart and healing the heart, and tears are a way of unthawing the heart from the past, and you know how much you've hardened the heart. It's a way of, tears are what unthaw it. It's basically what I'm saying, because I'm about to go everywhere and I'm not trying to go everywhere. So yes, so inner child, self-love. Let's see that's how you create that uniqueness and be authentic within yourself, when you have that self-love and that inner child healing and having that compassion for yourself is really important. But like I said, if you need to do that of what I was saying, just sitting with yourself and putting your hand on your heart and your right hand on your abdominal area, your stomach area, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You will be amazed of what it does internally, and then how it shows externally. Literally. I mean, I was in a phase where I hadn't been in this stage in a very, very long time, right? I hadn't been in this stage since 2010, 11, you know. I was in this stage. I was in the stage of like insecurity, depression, this, and that. Then it came, and then it just lasted all the way up until, I want to say, in 2014. And I started just, I went into fitness. Trying to get my health journey, my fitness journey, and that really changed my life. So if you go back to the video where I was talking about just the energy, moving energy, I'm gonna have to find out what video that is, but not being stagnant and moving the energy. When we're able to move that energy in our body, we're able to heal as well. So fitness for me really became a way that I got the depression. I don't want to say beat depression, like I grew through depression. How about that? We're gonna use that today. And it's because you move, you're moving your body, you getting that energy up out of you. So that was a way. And so I said all that, not trying to get off subject. I said all that because it was in 2014 where I was able to build myself back up, have some type of foundation, grow, be, thrive, and then I want to say in 2018, it came again, right? Fast forward. It came again, but I didn't really see what was happening. I knew that I was, reaching like a depression area, but I thought I can, handle it and stuff like that. But I saw myself slowly go down up into about 2021. And I said, I gotta do something. So I got in that mirror. I started talking to myself. I saw myself going down each and every, I saw it. Oh my goodness, I saw it. And I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, so I got in that mirror. I started talking to myself. I started telling myself I love you. Oh, that mirror talk, it was hard. That wasn't my first mirror talk. I had a mirror talk back in 2015, and that was the realest one. But I did have a talk with myself in 2021, talking in the mirror, and just talking to myself, telling myself that I love myself, and saying affirmations and just speaking to myself, letting myself know, like, look, I know we're not here where we normally be. Listen, I got you. At first it was frustration. I was so angry. I was like, Ari, you know why? I would say my name, but I'm just going to say my channel name on here. I would be like, Ari, you know better than this. Like, you know what to do. I was just really hard on myself in the mirror at first, but then I'm like, you're talking to you like your grandmother. You're talking to you like your great grandmother used to talk to you. No wonder you're not healed. No wonder you're not healing. And if you go back to the video when I was talking about grieving and healing, that's where I was talking about, it was either grieving or healing or inner child healing. And I was talking about how we can repeat what our parents did in the way we talk to ourselves or the way we talk to others. That's basically I don't know if I said it that exact way, but that was basically what I was trying to say. And that's how I was trying to heal. But it needed to be more nurturing. I learned that it needed to be more nurturing. I need to be more softer and have more compassion with myself. So this adds up everything that I'm saying with having compassion and going within and just, loving on yourself, because that's what I had to do. I had to talk sweeter to myself. I did. I had to talk sweeter, nicer to myself. I'm like, look, I started saying, look, I know we're not where we want to be, but we're going to get there. I had to start saying, look, I had to start saying my I ams. I had to tell myself I love myself every day. I had to, Mel Robbins, I had saw a video that she had did, I believe that's her name. She was talking about the high five, and I still do that to this day. After I talk to myself in the mirror, she was talking about the high five, doing the high five in the mirror. So if you go watch a Mel Robbins video, she'll talk about like the high five and how powerful it is. I still do that to this day. But yes, that's just the way. I just wanted to give that message on, different ways and how it really helped me, and that I'm just not bluffing, or I'm just not just talking just to be talking, or, I really had to go through this again and again and again to really realize, look, you can't be talking to yourself like your grandmother did. You can't be doing that. To really have love, I had to really understand me. And as I'm sitting here talking to you, really talking to me, I'm like, dang, that's what I had to do. I had to have love. I had to switch all that anger, all that, that talk, the way of what I went through as a child. I had to switch all that up. I can't talk to myself like this no more. Being angry, we got this, no. Myself needed to hear, look, I love you. Myself really needed to hear that. Listen, myself needed to hear, listen, I got you. We are here. What you want to do? Listen, do we need to sit still? Okay, I got you. Listen, I know the world is out making money, doing this. I know everybody's awakening. You're awakening too. You're awakening to yourself. Yeah. So I know everybody's taking this path. Let's take this path. That's self-love. I saw something that was going on, not even just within myself, but within the world at the time. And I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. I see it. I can't do it. I see what I'm doing to myself. I can't do it. So I took another path. And right now, that was the best decision I ever made, because who knows where I would have been mentally, physically, emotionally if I would have took that other path. Now listen, like I said, there's no right and wrong path. I just believe that there may be paths that prolong your growth and where you need to be. That's it. But I'm grateful, and that's why I'm here. That's why I can be here right now, sit here right now, and tell you to go within, and tell you to talk to that inner child, and tell you that I'm trying not to cry. But that's why I can be here right now and tell you to talk to that inner child and have that self-love and really allow that to be. And don't be afraid. It may be scary at first, because it was scary for me. But I had to please listen to what I'm saying, what I had to do, and what was the first reaction. But then what I had to do to really gain control and to really gain that confidence and get better. And I had to love myself, not talk to myself any type of way, not be angry and talk to myself and you could do this, and nope. I had to calm it all the way down. The way I got through things before in the past wasn't the way it was a different way. It was a different way of doing things. And I just hope that message, that part, helped. So we're going to go to the next card, and it says change. Change. This is the card that is always hard for me to explain what's going on in the card. So I'm going to just say, it's a woman. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands. She's sitting down in a meditation pose. I see a tiger, beautiful tiger, and just beautiful colors around her. It's a beautiful picture. I see butterflies. There's butterflies around. So that's a beautiful thing. She looked like she mastered something. She got all these hands. She got this tiger. That tiger stands for courage. She got these butterflies. But, butterfly stands for change. Because, butterflies was once caterpillars. Then they changed it to butterflies. Everybody loves butterflies because of what they represent. So that represents change. Then there's flowers, then there's colors. Then she has this radiant light that's shining from her. So yes, change. That's a beautiful way of explaining it. I like that. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own. Hold on. I put that together. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. So if you really want to, if you really go back to what I was saying about how I used to handle myself and how I handle myself now, that is the perfect example of change. I had to stop handling myself so tough, and I had to start handling myself with love. I had to go within for real, and not just play. I had to really sit down and not count on others to bring forth who I was. I had to, find it for myself. And I've always been a person who did my best to go within, but I did it with another energy. And I also had a phase where I was seeing different stuff, and I'm like, maybe this the way. And it wasn't long phase, but I'm like, why is this getting so much? It was point in time, I'm like, why is this getting this much attention? And I'm like, for a minute, I'm like, so am I doing stuff wrong? Please no. If this goes back to the video where I was talking about, what's the name of that video? You are awakening to your higher self. No, it's either that one or the right action video. I'm gonna get better at my video titles, but I was saying that if you are unique and you know the way you do things isn't the same as other people, I know that advice is good, of course, but we cannot live our life like others. We can't compare our life to others. You have to that's the important part of having a good relationship with yourself. And if you listen at the beginning of the video of being aware of who you are, so that you don't depend on others for your success, for who to move forward, because you will be, it's a way of prolonging. I'm not going to say lost, but it's a way of prolonging your experience and what you come here to do. Different things. We come here to do different things, not just one thing. And depending on another for who you are, man, like, we have to become aware of ourselves, and we have to, you can't move on nobody else's terms. You gotta, like, that's why it's preached to have a strong relationship with God, the divine, whoever your source is, like, seriously, yourself, like, because you can be steered into a prolonged experience. I do believe you will get to where you want to be, but I do believe that it may prolong it. I'm just here. I can say that in a way of, like, where it can, or, maybe I'm not here to say people's advice isn't good. I'm here to say be aware, so even when some advice come, you know exactly that's what that is, that was meant for you. You get what I'm saying? And just, that goes back to saying, going back to discernment. Remember, going back where I was saying, sit within, sit still, ask for discernment, ask for wisdom, ask for understanding, get to divine and start asking as much as possible, so that you can become and be, when some words come, when someone coming with a whole bunch of energy, you know how to move. When you unique, when you different, it's just you can't go about. I've learned the way of doing things, the way others do things is not your way. That's what make you unique. That's what make you different. And I go back and said before, everyone's special. But can you stand in that? Can you really stand in that? Become aware of yourself. Be authentic. Be true. And not be swayed by another. Can you really stand in that? Let's be unique. Let's allow that change that's needed within our life. You know, let's allow that change, the necessary change. If you've been swayed by another, maybe, everything I'm saying is leading you up to, doing all of this to change and go within. Change and have that self-love. Change, sit down and sit still and meditate and ask the divine for the true answers that you seek. How can I love myself? How can I go within and love that inner child and have compassion for that inner child? How can I have self-love? How can I let down that wall that's keeping me from my loving myself? How can I change? What do I need to do to make these necessary changes? These are questions. See, you got to get true with them questions. Them questions got to get deep. They got to get deep. And at first, I didn't know I asked questions. But as you ask questions, you know the right questions to ask. You get deep with them. Play no games. Last card. Guidance. Guidance. And it says when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. So when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. So true guidance, having that true guidance in your life. It's like, you know how they say tunnel vision. That's the same thing that it's talking about with the divine intelligence and, having something just to follow, having something to, to keep you on the right path and not get strayed off, And when you do each step that is given, you can't go astray anyway. When you go within and have compassion for that inner child and give and let down those walls for the little one that's within you, so you can take care of that vulnerable child and allow that change in your life so that you can let go of all that madness and all that ego and trying to be in control and everything, and let the right guidance, let divine intelligence guide you after all of that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because you will have something to follow when you do each step, when you go within. Love that inner child. Have that self-love. Allow that change. And the guidance will be there waiting for you. The guidance is already there. But the guidance, you'll have something to follow. You have something to follow. Be unique. Be authentic. Be true to you. Let yourself know how much you are loved. Be aware. Become aware. Let the divine in. I believe this message is important. And I believe this message will reach the people that it is needed to reach. For it to reach. And I am thankful for you for even listening to this message. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be here to have gotten through that, to talk right now to whomever it is that I need to talk to. Because we need it. We all do. We all do. I'm thankful I went on the other path. Because who was going to talk about it? Who was going to come here and do? And I'm not saying it in a way like, I'm saying it in a way of love. I do. I'm not saying it in a negative way. But I'm going to say this. If everyone is doing the same thing, this is the point I'm trying to make. If you don't be unique and authentic, if everyone doing everything in the same way, then how can you relay a message that is so meaningful to people who want to be unique, who want to stand in their uniqueness, their truth, their authenticity? If that makes sense. Listen, I'm for everyone. I am. I believe everything has its reasons, its purpose, its truths, its different perspectives. And I do my best not to look at anything one-sidedly. There's so many stories to people's lives. It don't matter if you see what you see. It don't matter if you eat. It's so much so much to a person's story, so much to your story. Even for you, guess what? We just look at the pain side. Do we take time to look at the side that really is changing our lives and really what we can do to make it better? This is a question for me too. So I really hope this message helped. I know it helped me. May it help you. May it resonate. May it be significant to someone. I thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Hope you have a great day.